Is there a glass ceiling in the NFL?
Well, see, I don't want to assume because, see, we don't have facts if there's a glass ceiling in the NBA, in NFL. But the bottom line is sure there is. The NFL has this dog and pony show going on where they escort these various coaches around the NFL and say, hey, look, we gave them an interview, but they're not going to get the job. It took Tony Dungy almost 15 years, and he had this little off-the-cuff statement that he would make. He said with a wink and a smile, I didn't interview well. So that's the new catchphrase. A lot of African Americans are saying, I didn't interview well. And see, that's something that I thoroughly disagree with. This whole thing, as I said, we must look at race and we must look at diversity and inclusion. How many African Americans are working in the NFL commissioner's office? How many African Americans work for the Detroit Lion organization? See, this is what we must look at because that is the only way people are going to pay attention.
Are you trying to set up quotas?
Set up quotas. I'm talking about I'm talking about diversity. I'm talking about inclusion.
Okay.
I'm talking about if you see all these African Americans on the football field playing the game, and I'm looking mid-level and upper level, and I see no African Americans, I have a problem with that.
You should have a problem, but everything takes time. It's been 50 years since Jackie Robinson broke the color line, right? 50 years ago, if I would have said there'd be a black college basketball coach at Mississippi, there'd be another one in the SEC, Sonny Smith, you'd probably say you're crazy. It'll never happen. Things take time. It's not right. But it takes time, and it's getting better
how much
slowly.
Time? How much
I don't know.
time
I don't know.
Is it supposed to take?
I don't know.
Who is to say how much time it's supposed to take?
I don't know.
Did anyone say it's?
But who is to say that Sherman Lewis or this guy is definitely the qualified?
Oh, wait.
I think
on the matter of qualifications, Mike Griffin. Talk about qualifications.
I think it comes back to two things, and I had an opportunity to be coached by Sherman Lewis at Michigan State as well as with the 49ers. But I come back to make this point. They always talk about a perfect fit. It's an owner relationship to get the type of individual that's a perfect fit. That's what we look at. Let's take a look at what's a perfect fit. What does that term perfect fit mean? Tony Dungy's not a perfect fit. Sherman Lewis isn't a perfect fit. Emmett Thomas isn't a perfect fit. But then all of a sudden, Dick Vermeil and Mike Ditka become perfect fits. And I think that's where the anger from Sherman Lewis comes from.
I agree.
I don't think
Dick
he
Vermeil,
battles.
Dick Vermeil's a joke.
I
Sherman
don't think
Lewis
he battles.
If Kevin Gilbride.
No problem.
But
I can deal with that.
See, if Kelvin Gilbride and Jim Fossil as assistant coaches get the opportunity, Sherman Lewis has every right to be upset that he doesn't get the opportunity. Because on the list,
but the idea here, gentlemen, based on the names that you're throwing around, the idea that names like Ditka and Vermeil that get thrown around allude to the fact that these are people who have been out of the game or out of the arena of endeavor for a period of time. And here's a man who's doing the game and running his offense and doing the job day in and day out in the league right now. He hasn't been out of the game, and he doesn't get the nod, and two people walk back into the league after being out of it and get the job.
But can I,
I must say this. You know, several months ago, the owners of Major League Baseball, the owners of the National Football League, hockey, and everything else, they came out with this statement. This is their statement, not mine. This is theirs. They said when the light is not shining brightly on us, we do not hire African Americans and minorities. But when the Reverend Jesse Jackson is in our face and saying that we must hire and the light is back on, then we become more responsible.